नारायणं परिपूर्णगुणार्णवाय विश्वोदयस्थिति लयो नियति प्रदाय ज्ञान प्रदाय विदा सुख दुख सत्कारणाय वित्ताय नमो नमस्ते. So this is our third class, and we have started this Bhagavad Gita study primarily with the UGA students, and the initial several sessions we're gonna be talking about little bit of concepts before we start diving into Bhagavad Gita. Um, uh, so we've shared a little bit of an outline, which is a work in progress, and we would love to hear your comments on those topics and the structure. So you can either share it offline, or you can, after the session, we can little bit talk about that. So with that, I would request Shri Keshav Rao ji to start his discourse.
हरि ओं श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. अभ्रमं भङ्गरहितं अजडं विमलं सदा आनन्दतीर्थमग्नं पदेतापत्रयापहं पूज्याय राघवेन्द्राय सिद्धर्मृताय च भजतां कल्पवृक्षाय नमतां कामधेनवे आपादमौलिपर्यन्तं गुरूणामाप्तिं स्मरेत् तेन विघ्नाः प्रणश्यन्ति सिद्धिं मनोरथाः. हरि ओं श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. So we are doing the Bhagavad Gita. Welcome to this Bhagavad Gita session. As Vivek mentioned, this is the third session. Initial sessions, we are covering some basic concepts, and before even we proceed anything, the one question that comes to our mind is, what does any person want? What is the basic thing that a person wants, in life? Means, so many things we want, but what is the ultimate basic thing? Means we can say sukha, happiness. And because everybody says sukhameva me syat dukkham managapi ma bhut, this is the basic desire of any person. What he says, let me have only happiness, let me not have any sadness. This is the ultimate goal and aim for everybody. So, but happiness we experience in life, we sometimes we're happy, sometimes we're unhappy. But in our life, whatever happiness we get in this world, it is mixed with unhappiness. Even very enjoyable, we are having wonderful food, enjoying nice, tasty food, but it is coupled with unhappiness because we cannot eat infinite amount of food. We'll stop after some, my stomach is full, I can't eat anymore. Stops. So it is not only happiness, and then there can be indigestion, or there can be any other problems with the food. And also any joy that comes in this world, it has two inherent unhappiness connected with that, because it will end, number one, worry about the happiness, and the second thing is the thought that it will end also makes us sad, and absence of it makes us unhappy. For example, money, if I get money, I'll be happy, people say. And suppose somebody gets enormous amount of money, a jackpot or something, then he has other problems. He says, somebody may steal my money, how to invest, how to put the money. So there still it causes certain amount of unhappiness. And the second unhappiness is we are, it's the end of life. Everything that comes, even if I have infinite amount of money, I have a large amount of money, my life will end sometime. I'm going to die sometime. So the limitations is something that we are all aware of. Life is not permanent. Nothing is permanent. So every happiness that comes in this world, it has impermanence associated with that, worries associated with that. So the happiness is not 100% happiness. It is happiness mixed with sorrow. Every happiness in this life is mixed with sorrow. Then how can we ever satisfy that happiness only, no sorrow? That is possible only in mukti or moksha, liberation, what we call, different people call different things. That's the only place where Dukkha Mishra is not there. There is no mixing with sadness. Only pure happiness is possible only in moksha. But still, the question comes to our mind: does moksha exist? Is liberation true? Can I believe in that? How should I believe in that? What if it's not there? I believe, but it's not there. What if? All these thoughts come to our mind. So there is no guarantee that such a moksha exists. And the only way we get assurance about the moksha that exists is through Vedas. That is a long topic. We are not going to touch about the Veda, Purusha, all that. This is a big topic. But all that we have to know is through something else, what we call Shabda Pramana, or a validity, something that as a proof comes through words, sentences, or something. Only that gives us a guarantee that yes, such a mukti, moksha, or liberation exists, and only there we can have pure happiness. In this world, we cannot have pure happiness. And then all our discussions, Gita, Bhagavad Gita study, are all meant to progress in that path of seeking that ultimate happiness, that moksha. And for that, we are, as we progress, we are going to talk about astikya buddhi or nastika buddhi or shraddha, all this terminology. We talked a little bit about last class, certain terminology words. We talked about some basic words, but that same thing will continue for some more time, some basic terminology. And for that, like in the scheme that they have provided, Vivek sent, there's a sloka that is there at the very beginning, and that sloka talks about Shraddha and Astikya. Both are mentioned in that sloka, Bhagavad Gita sloka. Of course, we are going to study in detail the Bhagavad Gita starting from sloka 1 and all that. But today, we are not actually jumping into the sloka, but we are looking at using that sloka as a base, certain terminology will get familiarized with. So the purpose is not to go deeper into the sloka, get its meaning, because that we are going to do as an exercise starting from first chapter, first sloka. But before that, some basic concept we want to talk about that, and that sloka goes like this. 31st sloka, and Sri Krishna says that ye me matamidam nityam anutishtanti manavaha shraddhavanto anasuyanto muchyante tepi karmabihi. It says Krishna gives an assurance that those people who have shraddha and anasuya, they are um, those people only through their karmas they get liberation, muchyant. So the moksha that we talked about, it comes here. Shraddha comes here. Shraddha is nothing but astikya buddhi. What is astikya? What shraddha? Will go a little deeper about the terminology. So the purpose of this sloka is just to get some basic terminology so that we know why our intention to study Bhagavad Gita is a meaningful. So before even we start studying or learning about Bhagavad Gita, we have to make sure that the goal, the purpose, the aim with which we are entering the Bhagavad Gita, that is a meaningful aim, meaningful goal, that we have to make sure. For that reason, we are going to get some basic terms covered. I said Shraddha means Astikya. What is Astikya Buddha? We hear this word Astika, Nastika. So, what is an Astika? What is an Astika? Astika is a believer, Nastika is a non believer. This is a general terminology people use, but that's not sufficient. Hey, believer in what? Believes in what? Does not believe in what? What belief we are talking about? Okay, belief in God. Okay, but what is God? Belief in God doesn't mean everybody believe. There's so many people who believe in God. But what if that belief in God is a meaningless belief? Who is God? What is God? And why? How should I believe? What is the basis of my belief in God? So these are the basic questions that come to our mind. And another word that is used is anasuyanto, anasuyantaha. That means in this world, people who believe in God also tend to blame God only. And there are people who do not believe in God, they're called Nastikas. And people who believe in God, even they can act like an Astika if they say, oh, God, He is responsible for all my sorrows. I would have been, God is so cruel to me. He did not give all that I asked for. God is so partial. God is responsible for all my troubles. He is the one who is causing me everything. So they start blaming God. So they believe in God, but they are blaming God for everything. So they are wearing the garb of Astika, but inside their heart, they're as good as or as bad as Nastikas only. So, not believing God, have an aimless life. Of course, they have a very aimful life as far as the Laukik is concerned. But anything beyond Laukik, if we ask a Nastik, what are you doing for life after death? They say, oh, I don't even believe in life after death. They don't even believe that after we leave this body, we still live on in a different body, we acquire a different body, we still roam around. This thing is not accepted or believed by a Nastika. Nastika believes only what he sees, Pratyaksha Pramana. Basically, a Nastika can also be a Charvaka. A Nastika and a Charvaka are a little similar terms. I mean, there's a subtle differences there, but ultimately, a believer in God and a non-believer in God, a person who does not believe can talk very beautifully. Hey, look, we don't need God. We are ourselves the masters. We can do what we want. These words are very beautiful to hear, very nice, pleasant words. But the problem is that person does not have a basis support because he says, hey, what will happen after? I don't believe in life after death. We have this one life. Let's enjoy this life, one lifetime, one thing, make the best of it, enjoy, get out. We don't know what happens next. That's it. Forget about it. Close chapter. The moment we leave this body is a closed chapter. So they don't believe in anything. So that is the Nastika approach. And Astika approach, believe in God, believe also in the scriptures that speak about God, which represent or present God as someone who is totally flawless. He has all the auspicious qualities and absolutely no flaw. So basically, what is the definition of God? Definition of God is some entity which is completely flawless and which has all the auspicious qualities. And the next comes, hey, how do I know? How do I believe? So should I just blindly believe that such an entity exists? Means no, not really. Blindly, it need not be a blind belief. There are scriptures that tell us. The scriptures are two kinds of scriptures. One is the eternally flowing authorless scriptures, which we call Vedas or whatever. Basically, they are eternally flowing scriptures. So they are our valid entities, valid statements. So using that, we say, okay, such an entity is God, who is completely flawless, who is full of auspicious qualities. Such an entity exists, and I can feel it inside my presence. Like, sometimes people they can actually see things and they believe those things, but even certain things they don't see, we believe. So many things we don't see, we believe. For example, a thought. Do you believe in a thought? Yes. Can you see the thought? No, we don't see the thought, but we can feel it. We can experience it. Everybody knows a thought is real. A thought exists. So, though we cannot see a thought, we believe in a thought. So, there's so many things that we don't see, but we believe in that. So, that gives us a feeling that we can believe in things which we cannot see, we cannot smell, we cannot hear, we cannot, like the five sense organs, which is beyond the five sense organs, and also which is beyond the mind. Such an entity exists, such an entity is present. This basic belief makes us look for ways and means of understanding, realizing such a supreme entity. So, Bhagavad Gita is one such tool. So, Bhagavad Gita, through Bhagavad Gita, what we are trying to achieve is to understand that a mysterious entity called, people may call God or different terminology, whatever terminology that they use, it's immaterial. What terminology they use, but something beyond everything, something beyond our sense organs, something beyond everything. Such a thing exists, and we have to believe that whatever reveals such a thing exists also tells us what is dharma and what is adharma. Again, these two words we have to know what dharma and adharma. Everybody talks about what is dharma, what is dharma is something good, adharma is something bad. That's all people know. Then people say, hey, can you define dharma? People say, oh, dharma, I don't know. Dharma is something good, virtue. People tend to whenever you ask what is this, people give a translation of the word, but the translation is not what we are looking for. We are looking for the concept. So dharma and adharma concept, and that concept gives us a dharana dharma, dharmo raksha dharma. So basically, dharma is something that supports the whole world. The world is running today means because there is certain amount of dharma. You go on the street, there may be so many bad things that are happening, but still there are so many good things. There are rules, people follow the rules. Mostly, like even there are some people who break the rules, but most of the people follow the rules. It can be road rules, it can be survival rules, it can be any kind of rules. It can be rules made inside the house, it may be rules made outside the house, rules made in a school, rules made in college. Most of the people follow the rules. Suppose, imagine, nobody follows any rules anywhere in the world. It is a total chaos, complete chaos. If absolutely no rules, nothing, total chaos. So man realized it and they made the rules. But these rules are a kind of a structure that is being used, but the underlying foundation for these rules is dharma. Dharma, dharana, dharma. That which supports us is dharma. And people, if they follow those dharma, then they are safe. You follow the rules of the road, you're safe on the road. You follow the rules inside the house, you're happy inside the house. So anybody who follows the dharma feels very secure. So dharma, adharma, jnana is needed, and the scriptures give us the very basic concepts of dharma, adharma. Using that, samaja dharma comes. So many dharmas, like the society, social law, ultimate spiritual laws are the basis or ground for all other kinds of rules and laws that exist in this world. The social law is there to protect the society, and the spiritual laws are there to protect all the laws and also all the human beings. It is across, like, not confined to any society, not confined to any time. At all times, all the societies, they need a guideline. Such a guideline can come from scriptures, and that's why this dharma is nothing but dharana dharma, that which supports it. Dharma, and we hear another expression, dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. That means if we follow the dharma, then dharma protects us. If we do not follow the dharma, then the same dharma will go against us and will destroy us, will be responsible for our own ruin. So if we want to live happily, then following the dharma is the right thing to do. And the opposite of dharma is adharma. Adharma is something that's improper. And if it's against the nyaya dharma, like, law, then it becomes illegal. We use the word illegal. Illegal means law, legal, illegal. That is in the realm of a court of law. Same way, in the realm of the entire humanity, dharma, adharma. Dharma is the positive that protects, that controls, that covers, and adharma is something that will destroy us. So when we follow the dharma, dharma protects us. That's what is expressed by dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. That means if we do the rakshana of the dharma, that means if we follow the dharma properly and strictly, then the dharma will protect us, protect the whole entire world. Wherever there's a disturbance, peacelessness, problems, issues, you can see at the bottom of it absence of dharma, that is presence of adharma, is the root cause of every single problem in this world. That is what is happening. So this is the, some of the basic terms. There are a lot more basic terms, but these terms will tell us the reason why we are entering Bhagavad Gita. What is that we learn from Bhagavad Gita? So many things that we are going to learn from Bhagavad Gita. And the most important thing is the concept of dharma and adharma, and the concept of the devotion, and the concept of the shraddha and astikya buddhi, and how to control our life with keeping Paramatma in our view. And what is Paramatma? What does he do? Where and how we can understand about Paramatma? These aspects are what we are going to learn as we go through Bhagavad Gita in a structured fashion. So actually we are going through introduction lectures only. Probably a few of these lectures are introduction lectures which will enable for people who are not so familiar with our shastras to get some basic concepts of the terminology. And I realize that there are a lot of newcomers, new students, and they do not know even some of the basic terms. So in this lecture it's quite possible that I may use some terms which you are not at all familiar. In that case, I urge people to note down in not only this lecture, but there are the recordings. Go through all the previous recordings, look at the previous lectures, and note down whatever terms you want to ask, okay, in this lecture. And probably even if it did not come in this lecture, if you have something in your mind, certain term, this terminology, I want to know what it means, make a, don't hesitate, don't feel shy. No, if you feel shy, you cannot learn. So don't feel shy. Write down the letter, words and terminology, whatever terms you want. You can send it to the list, or you can privately send to Vivek or me and ask, I want to know what these terms mean. So feel free, and we will have maybe couple more introduction lectures until you all feel comfortable. Then we will enter Bhagavad Gita. Hare Srinivasa. I'll stop here so that any questions are there or people want to add anything, they can do that. Hare Srinivasa. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
Namaskar, Acharya.
Yeah, namaskar.
Anand, I had a question.
Sure.
So, in according to Dharma, so in a lot of places, especially in India, there are places where we can't, especially us as Hindus, we can't do the right thing. So like as Hindus, our dharma is to do their smarne and do sandhyavandan every day and do things according to dharma. But sometimes bad people, if we do our things that we're rightfully supposed to do, they do things reverse, or they try to harm us. So in that situation, how would we still follow dharma? Dharma hang palne ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ question.
Yeah. Dharma, see, Dharma, your question is like, no, okay, different people have, there are what is called a Samaja Dharma, Vritti Dharma. Dharma basically means it's like a global term. That's why I said that Dharma in a spiritual world is different. Dharma in, like, for example, people have to do Sanyavandana. Okay, Sanyavandana is what is called a Vidhi. There is a difference between Dharma and a Vidhi. Dharma is like a base foundation. You have different type of buildings on that. Doing Sanyavandana, it's my Dharma, he says, but it's our Vidhi also. Dharma basically is a global term. So, for people like us, like in India or here, people say, oh, you have to do Sandhya Vandana. Is that your dharma or not? Yes, dharma there we are using in the sense of duty. This is my dharma, means this is my duty. This is my responsibility. I have to do it. That sense they are using the word dharma, but dharma is a lot bigger, lot broader. So basically, dharma is that which does not harm the society, that which helps the society. That is dharma. Huh? Yeah, bad people. They that's why basically bad people who are there, they are not for because they are now doing adharma. So, huh? Yeah. What is, so your question about the bad people? What is exactly your question about the bad people?
So if we're in a situation where we can't follow our dharma, how do we still like keep it alive?
Like
Here, so for example, if uh so if we're in a restaurant, and or we're in a parasthiti where we're extremely hungry and we can't survive without eating something, but the only thing there is to eat is non-veg or something that we can't eat. Then what? So in that situation, how would we still follow dharma?
oh, okay, I
Yeah,
understand that. Okay, so basically you're saying you're put in a situation where you feel something is your dharma, but you can follow that. You cannot follow that in that situation because you're put in a tight spot where
yeah,
you cannot follow that at all. So what you should do? Is
yeah,
that right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, what you should do is again, um, very broad. Like if suppose it becomes a survival question, then
Mm,
it's for the sake of survival. You must do something because survival is the ultimate. See, dharma is always has a levels. You have to do
mm,
certain things, but the ultimate sharira madhya khala dharma sadhanam, they'll say, to sadhana, do the sadhana, you need a body. Suppose you are in
mm,
a situation where if you don't do certain things, you'll be in big trouble. So
mm.
it may appear that you are breaking one dharma, but the ultimate higher dharma is to survive. So if your
Yeah.
survival becomes a question, then you compromise something, but that should not be misused. Okay. Oh, I need
Mm,
a survival. I need non-veg, and even when there is a scope, we have veg and non-veg. And I say, oh, I know. For me, the non-veg is the sounds good. So I'll say this. I'll take. So people should not misuse it. Suppose they
mm.
are in a situation where they cannot survive, it is in a
Yeah.
situation where something is very bad is going to happen, then the higher dharma is survival is the higher dharma. So
Mm,
always you have to judge based on the circumstance what is the best for that circumstance, how much I can make an effort to overcome this circumstance. So that's what is important.
okay. That cleared it up. Thank you.
Okay, sure.
Reshnas.
Very nice question, Srikar.
Yeah, that's a very valid question and relevant question.
Yeah, I have a question too.
Yeah.
You mentioned that there are there are things which are some things we cannot see or which are outside of our five sense organs,
Yeah.
and so these are not things which are like outside of physical matter, outside the realm of physical matter. Those we cannot perceive through our sense organs.
Mhm.
And then there are things which you said are also beyond the mind.
Yes.
So I had a question about that,
Mhm.
because mind can always conceptualize things. So when
Mhm.
you say there are things beyond the mind,
Yeah.
are you saying that it's because it's so complex that we cannot comprehend it fully? Is that why you said it is beyond the mind, or things that we cannot even think about?
Yeah.
we cannot conceptualize.
Yeah. Basically, beyond the mind means we cannot completely get this picture in the mind. That means, for example, Paramatma. He says in Kenopanishad says, even the mind cannot comprehend, but mind can comprehend. So it looks as if, hey, the mind can comprehend Paramatma, but the mind cannot comprehend Paramatma. How is this possible? Means mind can comprehend Paramatma very little to some extent, but it cannot comprehend completely. So is beyond mind means mind can go only a little. It can understand only a little, but it cannot understand completely. So the mind has a limitation. That's why I say beyond mind means it can just go a little only, learn a little. That's why actually in Upanishad there's a statement, one who thinks that I know God doesn't know anything about God. One who thinks that I don't know God is the one who knows a little about God. So you can still, God is something that's incomprehensible. That means beyond mind. But he is also comprehensible, means we can know something about God, depending on our own capacity. Different people can understand different levels about this Paramatma. So that's why he says beyond means that's what we mean. That means we cannot completely understand. There are certain things which are beyond our mind because they're very complex. Suppose something extraordinarily complex. For example, the size of this whole universe we cannot comprehend. I mean, we know that universe is huge, big, very huge, but we cannot exactly comprehend how many galaxies are there, what the size of the galaxies, how much. So that's beyond our mind. So we can comprehend. There's a galaxy, another galaxy is there. That much we can comprehend a little bit, but all the galaxies, no, the mind cannot comprehend. So there are both materialistic thing and non-materialistic thing which mind has a limitation. We cannot fully comprehend it. That is what I mean by beyond mind means the mind gets a very small picture but not the full picture.
Dhanyavad. Shastri Namaskar.
Yeah. And Srinivas?
Mom, I have two questions for you.
Yeah.
In the last document, there was one point which you mentioned. I don't know this PDF. I don't know if it is written by you or Vivek, but it says in the second page of that, I'll just read out that line for you. When we combine these beliefs, we hold with a value system and position it, then it is called Shraddha. This is a definition of Shraddha. I just was not able to, I don't know meaning. Give me, maybe I'll put it in the chat box. It's easy for people to.
Okay, this is on the second page.
On the second page, first line.
Oh, oh, that's the one. That sloka that's there. That's the one. Like
Yeah, the sloka is first line of second page. When we combine
Bhakti and
first
Shraddha,
line,
Jignasha, Shraddha, Prayatna, Jnana, Bhakti. Is that the one?
No, I think Srinivas is talking about the article that I put together.
Oh, another one. Okay, okay, okay.
So what I said
Vivek,
was,
is it possible for you to share the document on the
yeah,
screen? I cannot.
yeah, I'll share it at the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Vivek, you wrote this, is it?
I wrote it.
Okay.
Yeah, it is my interpretation. So
Yeah. Actually, Vivek has written the whole write-up is his. I
Okay.
just
But he's written really, it's very good. But just if you see, Mama, it says when this first line, if you read the first line,
Yeah.
when we combine these beliefs, you have defined the beliefs in the previous page, maybe,
Yeah.
and then
Okay.
I was not able to interpret this particular line. Maybe Vivek, if you can scroll up a little bit, maybe you'll just take the first. Yeah. So Pratyaksha Anumana Agama, this is all fine.
Yeah.
Right? So belief. Now he says we take our beliefs with the value system, then position with it. It's called Shraddha. I was not able to understand. Vivek,
okay.
maybe if you can, or Mama, anyone.
Okay, Vivek, you want to say something? I'll add after that. Yeah.
So Shraddha, beyond the belief, like we believe in certain things, but we take a certain position on it. That, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, and act on it, like on that belief system. Our actions are driven, when it is driven by those beliefs, it is what is Shraddha, is what I have written here.
So beliefs putting into action is called Shraddha. That's what you're referring to, Vivek?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Shraddha has to show, it is more manifestation of your belief.
Correct. Okay, understood. Okay, now I understood. I was not able to read this particular line.
Basically, the reason for his stance is Shraddha Traya Vibhaga, actually 17th chapter is saying. So everybody, whatever Shatik, Rajik, Tamsik, Shraddha it talks about, whatever his Shraddha is there, Sayeva Saha. So, yeah. So the way his Shraddha is, he is that one only. So that's why he's saying, our belief system is saying, basically our Shraddha, however, if it goes on the, whatever path it goes, that's where we pick up, basically. Yeah.
Okay, understood. But this is a very simple, beautiful way of explaining. I like this document. It's really very good.
Just 1 minute. There are, say, our belief system.
Okay.
There are two things in the belief system. Shraddha, if you go through the Upanishads, if you go through them, like Chandogya, Shraddha is even said as the Jiva itself. Why means the Shraddha, that Astikya Buddhi or whatever it is there in this, the Jiva, but our Nambike, our beliefs, it comes, the belief that I have today comes based on so many other things. The inherent Shraddha might not have manifested yet. The current belief by itself cannot be the Shraddha of the Jiva. So Gita is talking about the Shraddha or the Astikya Buddhi or the Nambike of the Jiva. Yoyat Shraddha Sayeva Saha. Eventually, that's what he is going to have.
Very nice, Meera.
Okay.
That clarifies for me also, I think. Yeah.
Because that's why he said that Shraddha Mayayam Purusha is just Shraddha. He's what is intrinsic nature is like that.
And then what's for Swabhava and then the Prabhava. So that will, the Shraddha that's there in the Swabhava, as the Swabhava itself, it gets reacted by, influenced by the Prakriti Prabhava. So the Prabhava forms, and then the Shraddha manifests, reacts, and it goes in a particular path, whatever actions we take. That's why it says karma bhi, the karmas, how it reflects in our karmas and all that.
So I think in that case there are two. One, Shraddha is manifestation of beliefs, but the real Shraddha is inherent with the
Yes,
Swarupa itself.
Yes, it is the Swarupa itself. That is what is called Shraddha is Jiva. Shraddha is taken as Jiva itself in Upanishads. So several questions comes, like they say that whatever your Shraddha, so is your belief and also is your logic. They say that, right? These, whatever your buddhi, suppose your buddhi, say for example, your buddhi, I am an astika, say that. Whatever you say, my buddhi will search and find some logic, something to suit my nastikyate. Your buddhi being astika, you will always find even in that the logic. That's why the logic is a reflection. The logic, the reasoning, the yukti, the alochana that we are using, it reflects our belief system. Once our belief system, that is the Shraddha, whatever loosely you are using here, if it is tuned to the Jiva Swarupa Shraddha, the conclusion will always be right.
Okay.
You got confused and confused.
Yeah. I think now we'll take it up offline. Maybe this is not. Let's keep it. And then now in our real Bhagavad Gita class next week we'll discuss with you. I don't want to disturb the kids here.
Okay. Oh, kids class. Oh my God.
Okay.
I didn't know that it's a kids class.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why that's why I did not go deeper in there.
Yeah, I just wanted to online.
Yeah, it's a Gita for youth.
Sorry.
Okay, I think.
Yeah.
Clarifies. At least to an extent it clarifies. We'll discuss this maybe next week.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So
any,
Vivek, you will put all of this in YouTube, right? At your
I'll
convenience.
be putting it in YouTube. Yes.
Okay, cool. Sure. Thank you.
Okay. If there is no other question, then we will do a prarthana and we will close the class.
Yeah.
मैं धन्यवाद श्री केशवराव मीरा जी. साष्टांग नमस्कार. ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ओम शांति शांति शांतिः. धन्यवाद. शुभ रात्रि.
Namaskar, Baba.
ಹರೇ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ
ಹರೇ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.